See,
Honestly, dude, I hate
I
that.
went
I hate
Sanford and
that
Son.
trap too.
I went Sanford and Son. I didn't go no final countdown. All right, here we are. It is Tuesday. It is mixing it up. I decided to wear a hat today because I felt left out last week. So we got all the hats.
Hat Bros. You didn't get the memo.
Right. I like is that like Chris and Sifu match on the hats, and then like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, we got not black. We're matching on the not black.
man.
Oh, we both have leather on there too.
Exactly. So I was like, they kind of
Oh.
match.
Yeah. Sporting my signature 5 panel. Level 5 panel.
I remember we were starting the show.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
like-
dude, I gotta get a
Oh.
hat for the show. I was like, you don't need a hat, bro. He's like, no, I need a hat. Vapors wear hats on shows. I'm like, okay, fair.
What we do.
Absolutely.
What we do. We're
Oh,
stereotyping.
man. Oh no, yeah. Even my brother told me, he's like, dude, I saw some guys vaping and they look just like you. Why the hell do they all look like you? I was like, I don't know. Like Grim Green said one time, we just showed up this way.
Yeah. Hats and beards and vapes.
Yep.
Like this is the thing though. I wore hats and had a beard before I vaped.
Exactly.
I smoked looking
Yeah,
just
me too.
like this for
Exactly.
like a decade.
That's the whole thing. We just showed up this way. We just happen to look similar.
Yeah.
It's a coincidence that we all vape. It's like
Happy
all
coincidence.
tattooed and
I mean-
bearded up.
We can't make every decision that's legendary. Like some decisions are not going to be that great.
Right. All right. So it's Tuesday and it's mixing it up. And yeah, we're ready to have a blast. I
Have you
do
ever,
want to start with what Sir or Senior Mix-a-Lot said. If you shake your mixing more than 3 times, you're playing with it. I love that.
That's right.
Dude, I'm always playing with it.
You know what I hate?
Also, what's up? He's from Canada. Did you know that? I just
Nice.
recently found that out.
Nice.
He doesn't even live that far
expanding.
from me, like a couple hours away.
I remember at one time my analytics said I had a lot of views from Indonesia. I was like, who the fuck in Indonesia is watching my videos?
Dude, apparently, like in Indonesia, vaping is like crazy huge. Though.
Huge.
That's crazy.
Like, that's what
Like,
Beecher always says.
I know,
in
yeah.
the Philippines too. Big deal.
Mhm. I mean, they make some bomb mods. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's
Yeah, I
some
have one
stuff.
on the way.
Dude, I'm gonna like learn how to say hello in Indonesian, and I'll just like every time we're doing a show, I'll say hello in Indonesian. As a matter of fact, I'll look that up right now.
Okay, yeah. He says he's in Cornwall. Nice. All right, cool.
I just
Don't know
want
which
to say, have you guys,
province
you know what I
that
hate?
is in, but
Whenever you
still.
go to smell a concentrate and you touch the tip of your nose with the bottle, and then that's the only thing that you smell.
Oh, dude, I'd throw up from that one from before. Dude, that butter tart is absolutely disgusting.
Right. Oh man. All right. Let's just jump into this. Mitch, what you been mixing, man?
I have been mixing a little bit of everything. Haven't had a whole lot of time to work on some new recipe ideas that I've had. This past weekend was a lot of mixing, and it was a lot of the butterscotch, a lot of butterscotch ripple, and a lot of mixed berry lemonade. I actually had one of my locals picked up a 240 of mixed berry lemonade, a 120 of butterscotch, and a 120 of the mango, and I was like, dude, that's a lot of juice. He's like, that'll last me about a month. I was,
Yeah.
damn, dude. Maybe go up to 6 milligram instead of staying at 3. Maybe you'll go through a little bit less. But hey, yeah. So yeah, just a lot of the basics. It was a good weekend of mixing. You know, you did a lot of mixing when you go through 500 mils of PG.
That's a good
Like
thing.
that at 75-25 mixing 500 mils of PG is a lot.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. I mean, period. That's quite a lot of. I mean, unless you're just doing 50-50 blends, you don't go through PG that fast.
No.
I think I've had this bottle for probably, I want to say like 2 months already. I've only gone that far down.
I feel like
Sometimes a
500 mils
mil-
lasts me a while.
Sometimes a 500 mil will last me a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have a weekend like that where I go through a whole one. I was like, Jesus. and I literally only made two bottles that were 50-50. So like they were 12 milligram 50-50. Everything
Yeah, but that
else
could
was
be just
70.
down to like your recipes. You know what I mean? Like maybe normally in the past you'd make stuff like there was 15, 16%. So to make it, you'd only barely use like what, a couple grams of fucking PG. You know what I mean? But maybe
Mhm.
now some of your recipes are only like 10%. So like that's automatically you're gonna use more PG than you would have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's possible. I'm not saying that that's exactly why, but it's possible. All right, I'll
But yeah,
go.
that's
You
that's
done?
it for me. Yeah, take it away,
Okay.
brother.
First of all, this is to all of our Indonesian listeners or followers or watchers.
Selamat siang.
Do you guys hear that? So, selamat siang, Indonesia. What up? Apparently that means good day. Hopefully Google Translate is not fucking me right now, and I just told a bunch of people in the country to fuck off. Because I love you, Indonesia. You're great.
That, or you told them that you wanted to fuck their donkey in front of their grandma.
Well, you know what? If I said that, I would take that joke. Like that'd be fucking hilarious.
I always love people when they try to translate, don't know what they're saying, and they say the wrong thing, and that it's always a good joke.
Dude, I remember I used to say that shit all the time when people would like, oh, how do you say this in English? And I just like say some ridiculous shit, and like it was to French Canadian people, which I love French Canadian people. Some of them are not very nice, but
Yeah.
when I was like living in Montreal, dude, like you'd be talking to somebody and like they'd want to know how to say things in English because they grew up in like a real French part, and you kind of like make it seem like what you were saying was legit. Meanwhile, like you knew that you'd get to see them use this later in the day,
Yeah.
and then you get to fucking just have a good old knee slapper of a time because you'd be dying because they said some ridiculous shit to somebody. I am kind of a jerk, but I'm really nice about it. I would smile and then apologize. Okay, so as for mixing,
So
actually
Canadian.
all day today, I was vaping something that I mixed up, and it was I mixed it up last weekend, I think, and I was trying to make a caramel apple like cream, and on the knuckle it tastes delicious. On the vape, it still tastes really good, but like the execution was fucking terrible because to me it honestly is like so apple heavy that only on the occasional hit would I get like that kind of creamy like caramel. So I've like made a bunch of notes like I've said before, and also just this is for Paul. I take notes all the time now, so I'm trying my best to take notes. So I was like making notes about like I was like, oh yeah, I turned the wattage up, I got a little bit more of this, turned it down. So that's something that I was mixing up this week. Another thing that I was mixing up this week is tried making like I'm really trying to force myself now to just mix fruit flavors. So I honestly don't even know where to start because I really don't vape very many just fruit flavors. So I basically decided that I was gonna make a pineapple, cherry, lemon, which I don't know if that really makes sense, but to me, like a pineapple is kind of like a citrusy, like it plays well with citrus. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And then cherry lemonade is fire. So I was like, all right. So I tried that. I haven't actually I knuckled it, and it tastes like it might be a little bit over flavored because I think it was at like 9%, but there was like 6 or 7 concentrates in it. But I guess I'm gonna have to wait and try it out and then make some adjustments from that. But like I kind of like dug the sound of that profile. So that's something else
What
that I
cherry
did.
did you? What cherries did you
I
use,
used
bud?
2 different cherries. I used Flavor West. No wait. I used Flavor Art cherry. I think it's just called cherry. Yep, Flavor Art cherry and VSO cherry.
Because I
And then I
found that
used like VSO pineapple and Flavora pineapple, and then I can't remember what else I used, honestly. Like, I didn't publish the recipe because, like I said, I'm just trying it out because I don't really know how to like mix just fruits. I'm like, it's like that different language that I'm trying to learn how to speak. So that was like an attempt that I made. I guess I'll have to come back to that. I'll let you guys know because I think that this weekend I'm probably gonna like vape it like on Saturday and then remix it on Sunday because it smells good and it knuckles okay, but it's like I said, it just like really knuckles like pretty sweet, and it kind of is like just whoop-pow. Like there's so much going on like in the flavor department that I don't know how that's going to translate to vaping it, but we'll see. But yeah, that I think that that's basically it. Other than that, just vaping previous things that I've made, making notes. I just haven't got around to mixing up more of them. And that's about it. So, Sifu, take it away.
Oh, I didn't mix shit. I, I was it's hard to mix whenever you're tending to
Wounds.
yeah, when you're tending to things. Um, so it's I had a few orders, nothing large, a couple of sample packs which are doing pretty well.
That's what she said.
That's yeah. So like I said, it was just a little surgery. It was just a little surgery. So it's yeah, that's that I didn't mix anything. Nothing of consequence. Probably you know, five to I think 5 or 6 sample packs, which seems like a lot, but they're little bitty bottles, so they go real fast. So it no, that's it. I have been testing custard debacle stuff, and number 4, which is the pumpkin and buttermilk, is working awesome. So I am enjoying that one. So I have 3 of them out of that original 6. Or how many did I do? 6, 7,
8,
8?
I want to
I
say
did 8
eight.
of them.
9.
I did 8 of them. All right, so I got 3 of them that I've tested so far that I've just vaped straight through the 30. I didn't want to change anything. I really like them. They're all custards, and they're all just a little bit different. And so I thought I would have some clear winners, but I'm starting to be like, I like this one, and I like this one, and I like this one. Um, it's good. It's not as sweet as Turk's pumpkin, um, but it's kind of got the same feel to it, which surprised me, because I didn't know how the buttermilk would work with the pumpkin, but it works. It's got an unusual creaminess that works well with the pumpkin because it's not as sweet as a regular cream. So you got like a richness, but it's not a sweet richness, and I really like it. So that's working well. Other than that, you know, the inspiration for this show has kept me, feet up and ice bag in hand, and that's about it. So, how about you, Clown A?
As for me, I'm testing out a new version of the horchata. Even though I've been making it for a minute, I'm like, dude, I can make this better. So I've been trying to push really hard for that and see how that works out. I seriously ended up picking up every horchata flavoring I can find, and even then, I'm trying to just figure what works best to make it overall to what I expect out of an horchata. And then I'm also doing I know we were doing this like a long time ago at this point, almost probably a year ago, but it was the Arnold Palmer mix for the Ohmies. I'm working on that one, trying to get that done. And I will say I put a fuck ton of sweetener in it because you know what? We live in the South, and that's how Southern sweet tea's made. So you got to put a lot of sweetener in that shit. So
Well, tea is hard, right? I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, and
it's hard to get that leafy, earthy note out of the
Oh
concentration.
no, see, that's the
without-
thing. I am getting that earthy note, but then the lemon
it's
gets
good.
hidden behind the earthy note. So it's kind of like a very interesting thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now, what lemons or lemonades or what I could use to make it better.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Like if you have an Arnold Palmer, unless you actually get like the Arizona brand Arnold Palmer, like you're gonna have a different level of iced tea and lemonade in a bunch of them.
Yep,
And
pretty
to
much.
me, I always get like more iced tea than I do lemonade. Like
Yeah,
from the
same here.
Arizona one, it's like way more iced tea than lemonade.
I've always
Lemonade,
noticed that
that afternote.
they rip you on the lemonade when you get refills at restaurants. You ever notice that? Like that first one's nice,
Sweeten it.
but then
Sweeten
they
it.
up the tea and the lemon goes away as you're drinking them. It's like, what the hell are you
Yeah,
doing,
man.
man?
Lemons are expensive.
Apparently. But there's that, and then just testing out a couple other things here and there. And then over the weekend, I did send out some packages, so I'm excited to see what the recipients think of it. Oh yeah, I got the Southern Sweet Tea from Wonder Flavors, dude. I picked up every sweet tea I could find. Like, there's actually like 4 or 5 different ones I could find. But yeah. All right, so let's just do a quick little ad break here, and then we'll be back talk some more mixing shit.
Okay.
Because the Temple is the Temple 28 and the Temple 25.
Yeah,
and the
they-
Nightmare in the 25.
Yeah, I just still think calling a 25 millimeter a mini is silly, but then when you think the original is like 28 or 30, yeah, it makes sense, I guess. I would see more of a 22 as a mini.
Yeah, it's gonna live
nowadays,
on
yeah.
that Evoke. It's gonna live on that Evoke. I'm gonna be thumb fire.
Yep. No, is it I don't think it's like I don't know if anybody ever remembers, but there is like 14 millimeter atomizers out there somewhere.
Dude, I have a 16 millimeter.
You have a 16? There's
Yeah.
even like mech mods meant for those. It's like, what? They're really hard to find
They
nowadays,
still have
but
some of those on what is Vapin Art has some of those
Yeah,
little
they
tiny
do.
atomizers.
Yeah.
All right, so today's episode, as you can tell by the thumbnail and all that kind of thing, we're going to be doing some peanut mixes in honor of things.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just nuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
just
nuts.
nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just
just
nuts.
nuts.
Sorry.
It's just nuts. It
All right,
doesn't
so,
matter.
All right, so we could spill it. All right, so the deal is that I had a vasectomy, the man surgery, on this past Wednesday. So when I was referencing why I didn't mix anything, it's because of that. And but it's like the joke I like to tell everybody. Just it wasn't a big deal. It was just a little procedure. It wasn't a big deal. So there you go.
But yeah, when Seafood told us we were doing that, Mitch said, we're doing a nut mixing just for the
We got to do
occasion.
nut in honor of seafood. We're doing nuts.
Nuts.
Nuts. So let's see. Seafood, you want to go first?
Why not? So I am doing chocolate peanuts, and I'm calling this mix "That's a Space Peanut" in honor of our good friend Joe Dierte. It's going to be. I'm kind of building off of the success that I had from whenever we did peanut butter. So that mix ended up turning out to be very much like just straight peanuts, like creamy peanuts. So I took the base of that for the peanuts, and I tweaked it a lot, actually. And I want to try to use some chocolate because I have never used chocolate in anything ever before. So
Hopefully you can taste it.
yeah, it's going to be a 0.15 of the beer nuts because I find that it's a good salty component. I'm using the chocolate-based clear from VTA at 1%. I'm using the new cocoa from VSO at 1.5%. Hazelnut at 0.5% from Flavor West. I'm using the Flavor Art milk at 1.5. because the notes that I picked up from chocolate base is that it's a little more on the bitter sweet chocolate side. So I want to kind of milk it up a little bit. I want a chocolate like a milk chocolate kind of thing, and I don't have a milk chocolate flavoring, so I'm gonna get it like that.
The TFA one's okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to write that down. For the peanut portion of it, I'm using the peanut butter from SSA at 1%. This is the first time I'm using that, and super sweet at 1/4%. I might bump that up to half, but also for that starchy note that worked really well in the previous one, I'm using taro from TPA at 0.15% for like a starchy component. So I'm hoping that I get a good mix of, like I did before, of salty and cream, and that I'm hoping that this time I get a little better peanut note with the peanut butter SSA. And the chocolate, I hope it comes through. I hope it doesn't taste like pencil eraser, which is what most
Did you
chocolates
see
taste like to
LabWorks
me.
comment, Sifu?
What's that?
Did you see LabWorks? LabWorks said add white
Add white
chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah, that would help it a bit.
It doesn't
Okay, I'll
have-
be right back. Mitch, tell us what you're mixing.
I did want to say one-on-one has
I
chocolate milk. Dude.
I have the VTA's chocolate milk. That actually smells really good.
It's okay,
I
but
am
then again, I
doing-
can't taste chocolate myself, so.
I am doing my recipe's called hazy caramel custard, and it is basically a hazelnut cream and caramel custard. And I did things kind of differently. I was deep down in some notes and decided to play around with some other flavors to try and get the tang that I wanted, creamy and tang of custard. I did use vanilla custard too at 3%. To help with the tang, I added some, and the creaminess, I added some sweet yogurt from SSA at 1%, super sweet at 0.5%, Sisha vanilla at 3/4, New York cheesecake at 1%, hazelnut cream from Wonder Flavors at 1.5%, hazelnut from Flavor Art at 0.5%, Carmelo from Flavor Art at 1.5%, 0.5% of biscuit, and 0.75% of Bavarian cream from Wonder Flavors.
Okay,
I thought
white
about
chocolate
I
has
thought
been
about
added.
adding. Nice. I thought about adding some sort of like taking out the biscuit and adding some sort of like wafer or ice like cone, like waffle cone of some sort, but I decided to stick with the biscuit and not mess with the profile more than I already did, because I do have that issue where I sometimes mess it up by continuing to tweak it and play with it. So yeah, that's it for me. Hopefully we get a hazelnut cream caramel custard. What about you, Overdrip?
Well, I just want to like shout out Cloud King Cody. You know it, bro. I was trying to like tag you, and for some reason, it wasn't letting me tag you in chat. Okay, so this is what I've done. My recipe to tribute to Sifu. I made a joke in like our group chat, and he's like, "If you don't name it that, like, I'll be disappointed."
I'll
So
be very,
my
very offended.
recipe is called More Nuts Than Sifu. So I'm actually gonna try. Like, I'm gonna try to make like a butter pecan caramel tart. I don't really know how well it's gonna go, but I'm kind of just hoping for the best here. So, okay. Well, the first thing is like the nut component is I'm using butter pecan from Flavor West. I also don't know if it's butter pecan or butter pecan. I just say pecan. That's just the way that I say it. I don't know if it's the right
It's
way
pecan.
for the record. And then I'm using a little bit of acetylpyrazine at 0.25%. Sorry, and the butter pecan is at.
Say that very well. I
Say it.
always stumble with that one. You say that very well. Acetylpyrazine.
Oh, see,
stumbled.
Yeah, I
Jersey,
couldn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
try to say that.
So that's at 0.25% just to up that nuttiness. And then I'm using butter pecan at 2.75%. Then I'm actually going like double on the caramel. I might regret it, but I'm going with 1% of caramel from Flavor Art, which is Carmelo, and 1% of caramel from Flavora is also at 1%. And then because I learned this trick from Fresh 03 a long time ago, that you always got to back caramel with butterscotch, or you always got to back butterscotch with caramel. So I have 0.5% of Flavor Art butterscotch in there. Then because like I know that like I wanted it to be kind of like a creamy caramel sauce, I'm putting in 0.5% of cream milky undertone from One on One. Then for the pie crust part, I'm using pie crust from TPA at 1%, and shortbread cookie from Wonder Flavors. So it's like the shortbread cookies SC Wonder Flavors at 1.5%. And then I'm gonna, just because these, to me, this should be sweet as fuck. So I was not gonna put any sweetener in, but I'm putting in 0.25% of super sweet, just to hopefully get me to that like, oh, you're almost too sweet, but not too sweet mark. And even after explaining all those things, it somehow is only 8.75%. So I'm throwing my hat in the ring on more nuts than Sifu.
Nice.
So Clown, I think that you're up.
All right, so I decided to go with more of a peanut butter cookie. Don't know why, that just sounded delicious to me. So we started off with 1% of almond cookie from Wonder Flavors, and then brown sugar from TFA at 0.25%, brown sugar cookie from Wonder Flavors at 1%, cookie butter from Wonder Flavors at 0.75%, then a little bit of creme brulee from Inawara at 1%, then peanut butter flavoring from Flavora at 0.75%, then shortbread cookie from Wonder Flavors at 1.5%, and then 0.25 of a little bit of sweetener. And total, it was 6.5%. Who's winning on that one?
I'm at 8.3.
I'm at 11.
Well, I did add 2% of white chocolate, so I was down to 6.3 until I added
Oh,
white
dude,
chocolate,
the
so
white chocolate ruined you.
it put me over.
You could have won it. And Mitch still wins as king of top flavors.
Yay.
That's okay. I'm thinking about adding a little bit of butterscotch now that I realize that Overdrip said that, and I just have straight
It is
caramel in this.
fire. Like for real, it's like one of those tricks that Fresh said, and I remember hearing that like when
Yeah.
you do Fresh from the Kitchen with the Vapor Chronicles. Like that like stuck in my brain all that time ago.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Is he doing a show today?
You should be.
All right, he hasn't announced it yet.
I don't know. I haven't. Normally, I would get the notification half hour before, and that wouldn't be for another half an hour.
Yeah.
I need to place a VSO order. I want their new rum and bourbon.
Ooh.
Labworks is Wizard Labs. Is that in Canada? I'm assuming it must be after the comment I made, and then you said Wizard Labs has it.
Wizard Labs? No, they're at
Have to spend some more money, gentlemen.
they're out of Florida. Wizard Labs is out of Florida.
Oh. Yeah, well, they have it at Bull City, but Bull City wants $54 US to ship me stuff, so I'm never going to buy anything from them because that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, here, take these 630 ml bottles, $54 shipping, please. No. Never. Never.
No, never. No, never.
It's the final countdown, Mitch. I blame Mitch, and now all of you
Nice.
have to suffer with me.
Yeah, the earworm has
The
been
earworm
set.
got me.
It was because I was trying to re-wick that Addy with like a minute left on the
Yeah.
before the show started.
Okay, Lady Liberty, what is the code for the VSO stuff during Fresh's show? I can never remember it.
They say it. It's like Froomy.
Froomy?
But I don't even know if it's always that.
Oh.
It should be, though.
So it's not the same thing every
It just counts for orders during the show, which...
During the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. That's how that code works. It's only orders placed during the show, which, you know, they probably keep an eye on that, like what time the order was placed.
You know what's crazy? I did it not during the show once.
There you go. Y'all done it.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious on that one. Is like, do they pay attention to it entirely, or?
Well, I had placed it after the show, the one time that I used the code. So I don't know if that. I don't know how Swaggy Shane is a.
Yeah, and for everybody that lives in
injustice.
Canada, the shipping is not even that outrageous from them. I think I paid $25 and I got like 20, 30 ml bottles, something like that. It was an acceptable amount.
Dude,
That was only like $5 more than the shipping that I paid.
Well, then there you go. Then it's definitely acceptable.
So I did end up adding 0.5% of
It goes
flavor
till
of
midnight
butterscotch.
East Coast. There you go. Start of the show until midnight. There you go. Yay.
I am slightly worried that the butterscotch caramel, I don't want it to overpower the hazelnut, but we'll see.
Hazelnut. Yeah, the code is Froomy.
Did I just make M&Ms? I think I just made
Kind of
M&Ms.
thought that's what you were going for.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
I just made fucking M&Ms. What the fuck? Peanut butter M&Ms. I hope it vapes like this. Damn it. Everything knuckles. Like last week's, it knuckled beautifully, but it doesn't vape like the coffee. It tasted beautiful, but it doesn't vape worth a shit.
Have you tried it since?
Yes, I tried it today when I got back. It's in. Remember this? This is what I vaped it in last week. I shook it up and burnt popcorn.
No.
So not delicious.
That sucks.
Sweet burnt popcorn.
Oh, actually, you know what? I did a remix and like added almond to mine. I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna have to try that.
Holy shit.
I just got a text message from a friend saying that River Supply this weekend is going to have a 25% off sale, peeps.
Fuck! I just bought a liter. I just bought a liter of nicotine.
Dude, this came out good. Holy crap.
Yeah, dude, this tastes like peanut M&Ms. Holy shit. Still going through it, but
Yeah, as far as the coffee goes, yeah, I moved it to this guy right here, so it's delicious now.
so it worked out. It worked out. Okay, I need to look at your recipe and see what coffee flavors you use because I really like the idea of what I made last week, and I really want it to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I have the right mix of concentrates for that. So
Oh yeah, I gotta make my recipe public, don't I?
I know, right, Michelle? I bought a liter of Pure Nick, and I got I think a 125 of Salt Nick of the smooth salts.
I
wanna
actually need to
experiment with
buy
that stuff.
some caps and bottles.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to get some of those 240 bottles so I could just mix up a big old batch of drunken apple cakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know where you guys are, but there's not much to say about it, but this tastes like peanut M&Ms. This tastes like peanut M&Ms.
But where's the candy shell coming from?
I'm not sure. It might be from the alcohol base of the chocolate clear, because whenever I smell that concentrate, I'm getting There is an alcohol note to it, like a strong alcohol note.